Live from KSAT 12, the Nightbeat starts right now.
A smash and grab caught on camera. The suspects grabbing eyewear and stuffing them in suitcases. And it's not just one business in San Antonio. Tonight, the victims are sharing their stories and their video with the night team's Patty Santos.
And a school district trying to survive amid falling enrollment numbers. Tonight, South San ISD's future hangs in the balance. So does a number of its schools. Will they stay open? An important vote expected tonight. But first, we want to get to some breaking news right now. San Antonio police working a crash near I-10 and Crossroads.
Yeah, right now, emergency crews are blocking off two of the eastbound lanes of I-10. Police were responding to a call for a crash involving a pedestrian. So far, though, we don't have any word on whether anybody's been hurt. We do have crews on the scene there. We'll be sure to update you as soon as we get more information on this.
Now to a string of break-ins, and in all the cases, the suspects were after eyeglasses.
So in just the past 2 days, two businesses were hit, and now the owners are sharing video of the break-ins. They want to catch the suspects. Another business owner says that thieves took glasses at his store last May. The night team's Patty Santos spoke with several business owners who need help finding that stolen merchandise.
A suspect armed with a rock in and out in less than 3 minutes with thousands of dollars worth of designer glasses.
Definitely a professional, had a huge bin with him, and he walked through the store grabbing everything that he knew was of high quality luxury.
The owner of San Antonio Eyeworks says she lost thousands of dollars in damage and property, along with
the emotional fear of waking up, again, whether it be 2 weeks or a month or whenever it may be, with that phone call that they've come back, because more than likely the police said they will come back.
It's already happened to her colleagues.
It's a gut punch.
Mission Vision reported a similar break-in the day before and another back in May.
I know it's not getting better. It sounds like it's just increasing in prevalence.
Someone tried to break into Wood Vision stores 5 times last year. 3 times they got inside. Owner Dr. Bobby Wood says at least once the suspect walked out with 2 full suitcases.
Frustrating that we have large business expenses and insurance premiums going up, plus the violation of what's happening to our businesses. And we just don't seem to be getting much help from the DA's office to kind of stop it.
San Antonio police made an arrest in their first break-in at Wood's office last year. Randy Herrera arrest records show he was the suspect in several similar break-ins. He's out on bond and awaiting indictment. Bexar County deputies are still looking for the person who stole $30,000 worth of designer frames at another store in September. Wood is warning his colleagues to take security measures.
Be vigilant, be as secure as you can with security films if you can afford the guard gates, things like that. All of your inventory that you can, lock it up each night.
And no arrests have been made on either of the break-ins that happened this week. We did reach out to the Bexar County DA's office to find out about Herrera, the man that was arrested last year. His office could not comment on an ongoing case. Now, the business owners that we spoke with today are asking anyone who has information about these burglaries to report it to authorities. They're also asking customers to be very careful when buying things online or also at flea markets. Steve, Stefania?
All right, Patty, thank you. In other news now, 3 pit bulls found in feces and urine-coated floors. Tonight, they're officially in the custody of the city of Balcones Heights. It's a Nightbeat update to a story that we first brought to you last week. You remember the dogs were left alone for days at a unit at the Coral Gables apartment complex. Some people wanted to rescue them, but they couldn't because under Texas law, pets are categorized as property. But today, a judge ruled that the dog's owner cruelly abandoned them, and that allowed the city of Balcones Heights to take ownership of them. So now the city is hoping that someone from a rescue shelter comes forward and helps to get the dogs adopted. For now, their previous owner is going to have a chance to appeal, but that person could also face criminal charges in a higher court.
Another possible delay in the murder trial against Air Force Major Andre McDonald. His legal team arguing, his legal team arguing a judge should throw out some key pieces of evidence before that trial can begin. McDonald accused of murdering his wife, Andreen, nearly 4 years ago. One of the victim's friends remembers finding blood and hair on a light switch when she went looking for Andreen inside her home. The defense claims that friend trespassed onto the property, so her testimony should be thrown out. They're also questioning search warrants and cell phone data in the case. Prosecutors argue Andreen's mother did live at the home, and she gave investigators permission to enter and process the scene.
When the police had arrived, was it okay by you that the deputies came in to talk to you and look at what you'd seen? Was it okay that, did you invite the officers in, or was it okay that they came inside?
Yes.
It was okay by you?
Yes.
Andreen's burned remains found months later at a ranch. It's now up to a judge to decide what evidence will be allowed during trial. Despite all this, a jury is scheduled to hear opening statements on Monday.
Developing tonight, a local school district needs money. Not as many kids are attending schools at South San Antonio ISD, so the district needs to cut costs. Board members are now considering closing campuses that reopened almost 4 years ago, and they voted on that tonight. The night team's John Paul Barajas is there for tonight's meeting. So, John Paul, what was the outcome, and is the district going to be able to save the money that it was hoping to save?
Steve, Stefania, the board voted to keep the doors open at all 4 schools tonight, but there was no discussions on how they plan on saving money. Our parents and board members were frustrated and had lots of emotions, saying that the topic was snuck onto the agenda last minute and didn't give enough time for open discussions.
She was in shock. They were in shock. Why are we in shock?
It is so easy to do the right thing. And tonight, keeping the schools open and looking to future community events, we're going in the right direction.
Superintendent Henry Izaguirre recommended closing Athens Elementary, Kindred Elementary, Kazan Middle School, and West Campus High School. 3 of the 4 were just reopened in 2019, while attendance fell at South San High School, according to the school board president, Ernesto Ariano. He believes that played a role in the district's current budget deficit. Ariano explained the district used federal COVID funds to help with financial issues, but with those funds coming to an end, he gives South San Antonio ISD a year and a half before they run out of money if things stay the way they are. Again, a majority of the school board members want to have community input, but they haven't announced when or if that'll happen. At South San ISD, John Paul Barajas, KSAT 12 News.
And we'll continue to follow it. Thank you, John Paul. The application process open if you're trying to run for San Antonio mayor or hoping to represent one of its 10 districts on city council. So far, the city says they've only received 13 completed applications to get on the May ballot. It is not clear how many incumbents are facing challengers right now. The city hopes to list those details on its website tomorrow. Right now, we know District 7 Councilwoman Ana Sandoval won't be seeking re-election. She announced her resignation yesterday. The candidates acted quickly.
Serving as a public servant has always been a passion of mine. With the recent announcement that this is an open seat, I had to activate quickly. And
obviously, with recent developments, the timing was kind of right to throw my hat in and pursue that.
Now, there's still time for more candidates to apply to get on the ballot. That process will run through February 17th. We're also tracking how many terms each incumbent has served. Remember, there is a 4-term limit. Each term, whether it's mayor or city council, being 2 years. You can have 4 of those. So far, no one has reached that limit yet. The current council members for districts 1, 2, 3, and 5 have each served 1 term. There's been a lot of turnover in District 2, which has seen a new council member since Ivy Taylor left the seat to become mayor. Districts 4 and 6 currently have council members serving their 2nd terms. The mayor and districts 7, 8, 9, and 10 are in their 3rd term. As we've reported, District 7 Councilwoman Ana Sandoval, she's going to be leaving before her term expires. Her 3rd term. We're also waiting to see if Clayton Perry will decide to run for District 10 again. He's facing 2 charges in a hit-and-run crash, including 1 charge of DWI. Of course, it's a story we're continuing to follow on KSAT.com. There you can also find a link to the application process if you decide you want to run for a leadership position in the city of San Antonio.
Now for a look at some of today's big headlines in your Nightbeat News Flash. A Bexar County Sheriff's deputy is accused of tasing one cadet and threatening another. 23-year-old Andrew Garcia is under arrest. One cadet says that they were tased back in December. Another says that they felt in danger during their shift. And now, after an investigation, the sheriff's office wants to terminate Garcia. He currently faces 4 charges, including official oppression. Now we're seeing new video of a crime on a construction site. Investigators say that cameras caught a man pulling into the site in Northeast Bexar County and just helping himself to equipment that wasn't his. Investigators say he got away with $55,000 worth of equipment. That was back in December. That was near Foster Road and FM 1364. They say that he also got away with 3 smaller water pumps. The Bexar County Sheriff's Office is investigating this, so call them if you know anything about the suspect. A small bird at the center of a big debate. So this right here is the golden-cheeked warbler. It's endangered. It also lives in far north Bexar County, where developers are hoping to use some of its land to build on. Now, this is in the Cibolo Canyons area off of Resort Parkway near the JW Marriott Hotel. Starwood Land Advisors LLC is proposing a land swap that would allow them to build on 66 acres of land. But opponents don't like that. They say that would cut into the connected tree canopy coverage that the bird needs to survive and thrive. So they have until tomorrow to share their concerns with the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. And that's a look at your Nightbeat News Flash.
It's still ahead on the Nightbeat. We revisit the COVID-19 pandemic. Going on 3 years now, where do we stand on this potentially deadly disease? We hear from a local doctor who's keeping an eye on the numbers.
Plus, new video along the border. Law enforcement says human smugglers are using new techniques on the ground and also in the sky. The moments caught on camera next on the Nightbeat.
To the border now, where Border Patrol agents coming across low-tech and high-tech strategies to smuggle people across the border. Just today, agents came across a drone hovering above them, possibly as surveillance. DPS spokesperson Chris Olivares shared the video on social media. The camera pointed to the sky. It seems to focus in on, you see it right there, a flying object. Olivares says agents were in the Rio Grande Valley while someone on the Mexican side of the border, he believes, was operating the drone. In another instance, agents came across a makeshift ladder to help climb over the border wall. Despite the evasive strategies, Olivares says agents came across several groups of migrants recently. One, a mother who was 5 months pregnant. 2 others were 13-year-old boys. And while some migrants are being smuggled, others are trying to seek asylum legally. That process, though, narrowing significantly. Under the humanitarian parole program, the U.S. limiting migrants from Cuba, Nicaragua, Haiti, and Venezuela. 30,000 people accepted each month as long as they fill out the proper paperwork before leaving the political turmoil or violence in their home country.
Now, here at home, San Antonio remains steady with a medium risk level for COVID-19, but researchers are stressing that COVID-19 remains a leading killer in the U.S. Johns Hopkins, for example, just released a study saying the virus is the 3rd leading cause of death. During today's KSAT Q&A, Dr. Larry Schlesinger says that an estimated 400 to 500 people die every day from COVID. He says that vaccines are essential in preventing death and serious infection. He also spoke about a vaccine that's being developed at Texas Biomed that's showing promise in providing durability and also protection.
The bivalent vaccine, which is the one that has been found to be the best protection against some of these new variants.
It was an interesting conversation, and you could watch that conversation with the doctor right now. It's on KSAT.com. Just click on the KSAT Q&A article that's on our homepage.
Take a live look outside with live cam right now. You see the San Antonio Zoo, the big parking garage there that's along 281. Why are we showing this parking garage? Because
tomorrow is $8 admission day. Yeah, if you bring an ID that shows that you're a local, that you live in Bexar County, you just have to pay $8 to get into the zoo. So it's a good deal. And, if it's going to be like today, Adam.
It's going to be a little different. You will notice some changes, but it's still pleasant outside. A good day to go to the zoo or just get outside, do whatever you need to do. We do have some rain chances coming our way. They're just a few days away. Not as warm the rest of the week. I mean, we were 79 for the high temperature today, despite the passage of a cold front. But 2 more cold fronts will mitigate temperatures a bit. You'll want a jacket in the morning, right near 40 degrees. And then we do have a few rain chances to talk about. I want to get you started for your day tomorrow, though, first of all, with our KSAT 12-hour forecast. 40 degrees at 7 a.m. Then by noon, We're already up to 65 with sunshine, then a high temperature of 71. So short sleeves are just fine once we get into the afternoon hours. And not much of a breeze tomorrow. It'll be gentle at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Nothing like what we had earlier today. Taking a look at our high temperatures tomorrow. Some upper 60s in the hill country, but most of us in the lower 70s. Castroville, Devine about 73, along with Poteet and Pleasanton. Look at the trend of the rest of the week. Friday, 65. Saturday and Sunday will be in the 60s as well. And into next week, highs in the 60s, closer to average being 64, and actually below average a little bit on Tuesday. Still no really cold Arctic air within sight to drop our way. There is some colder air off to the north, wound up low pressure system. See that blue? That indicates the snow on the cold side of this system, but that's not the Arctic air that we saw in December with our cold snap right before Christmas. Actually, I was checking temperatures this afternoon in Canada at teens and 20s for the most part. Not all that bad considering it's January. Anyway, this system's all wound up. That's the cold front that moved through earlier this morning. Of course, we're not tapping into any of that moisture. It's all moving away from us. What we are watching is this little dip in the upper level flow moving into the Pacific Northwest. That's our next system, which will be dropping southward. It's going to dump some good snow in parts of the Rockies and the higher elevations there. Around here, I don't think it's going to really squeeze out a whole lot of moisture, but it does give us the chance of a few showers. We had a couple along the cold front earlier this morning, especially in Gonzales County. Saturday morning is when we could have a few of these light showers. Very isolated in nature, generally pretty light, with the chance of 1 or 2 moderate showers east of San Antonio. If you're one of the lucky few to get those, maybe squeezing out 1/4 of an inch, but I think for most of us, far less than that. 30% chance that is on Saturday. Monday night into Tuesday, we have another opportunity. Right now at 30%, but this scenario does give us some hope for increasing those rain chances. Saturday morning, I don't really think so, but Monday night, early Tuesday, there's hope. Cross your fingers, something to watch. Check back in for updates. Hey, dew points are down into the 20s. You notice that dry air out there today. If you're susceptible to dry skin from this dry air or chapped lips, get used to it. Dew points staying low. We're not going to get that return flow from the Gulf of Mexico. In turn, this dry air is here to stay. Notice those morning temperatures in the 40s for the most part, but we do drop down to 37 on Monday morning, and the coolest will be as the middle of next week, Wednesday morning at 35. But otherwise, temperatures generally a little above average for the next 7 days.
All right, we'll take it. Rain chance is better than no chance.
This is true.
Yeah.
Cowboys getting ready for their revenge game.
A lot of history between these two teams, including most recently, the course being eliminated by San Francisco in the first round of the playoffs and dating back, of course, 93, where the road to the Super Bowl and their championship that year went through San Francisco. Are they ready to take on the 49ers once again? They will let us know. And a rookie with a little nasty coming up.
Pro football coverage, powered by Davis Law Firm.
When the Dallas Cowboys face the San Francisco 49ers this Sunday to decide who goes to the NFC Championship game, the Cowboys will be 3.5-point underdogs, and for a number of reasons. First, the Niners were the team that ended the Cowboys season last year in the first round, 23-17. Second, the Cowboys were forced to play on Monday night, reducing the amount of time they can prepare for the next playoff game that is also on the road, and just one postseason road win in the last 3 decades, and that came just this last Monday night in Tampa, 31-14. But if Dallas has another near-perfect performance from Dak Prescott, and the Dallas D plays like they did against Tom Brady, the Cowboys could find themselves back in the NFC Championship game for the first time since 1996.
We want to get it back, and that's our main thing. We want to get it back, but also we got to play within ourselves. And you know, it's gonna be a physical game. They're a physical team, and we know that we got to withstand what they bring, and we got to go out there and try to get the crowd out of the game early.
All right, J-Ron Kearse was a big part of the Cowboys' road playoff win in Tampa on Monday night, shutting out Tom Brady in the first half for the first time since his first ever playoff game in 2001. But there has been some concern since he suffered a knee injury late in the third quarter, telling us he's good even though he was limited in practice today.
I've been dealing with a lot of injuries all year, and able to get through them and just continue to play ball. So it's nothing different, especially being playoff time. You know, I'm only guaranteed 4 more quarters.
All right, well, the Cowboys say they have no plans to cut Brett Maher after he missed a playoff record 4 straight extra points in the wild card weekend win. They did sign Tristan Vizcaino to the practice squad just in case he has a rough week of workouts before Sunday. All right, San Antonio Spurs snapped a 5-game losing streak by handing one of the beasts of the East, the Brooklyn Nets, their 3rd straight loss without Kevin Durant nursing a knee injury. Keldon Johnson was a monster last night, scoring a career-high 36 points, including his one-handed slam in the fourth quarter of the Spurs' 106-98 victory. But after the game, everyone was talking about Jeremy Sohan's takedown of veteran Markieff Morris, who got a little physical with the Spurs rookie in the first half. Sohan was hit with a flagrant foul. Morris teed up, and then Sohan went right back at him for the basket and the foul.
The game got a little heated, and there was a altercation between us, but it is what it is. We were all playing physical, so
he's got some nasty in him, and so does Zach. That's necessary on any good team.
All right, the Clippers come calling next. This will be on Friday at 7 o'clock at the AT&T Center. Spurs Sports and Entertainment announcing a new partnership today with Victory Capital as a new naming rights sponsor for the Spurs' brand new performance center located at I-10 and 1604. Victory Capital is a global management investment firm with $153 billion in assets who signed a multi-year agreement. The Spurs Performance Center is just part of the Rocket Lock and Terra development, which is a $500 million project. Will also include a 22-acre public park along with office and medical space available. And that's where today's press conference was held.
The Holt family, as Peter shared, have always been focused on what's in the best interest of our community. And as we knew we needed a next generation training environment, the Holts gave us permission to think big and to look at someplace different than putting another gym up and calling it our home.
To have a company that's moved and moved their headquarters to San Antonio within 3 years, go all in on a pretty big investment, it means a whole lot. It means a whole lot to us at the Spurs, and I think it means a whole lot to Victory. And the name looks pretty good, right? Spurs and Victory together is pretty nice.
Yeah, that does have a nice ring. The new Victory Capital Performance Center, which will be the state-of-the-art training facility for the Spurs, is expected to be completed late this summer, just in time for the start of the 2023-24 season and training camp. The miracle continues. Next.
Pro football coverage, powered by Davis Law Firm.
Over in the AFC, the Buffalo Bills host the Cincinnati Bengals in the divisional playoffs less than 3 weeks following that horrific incident when Bills safety Damar Hamlin suffered a cardiac arrest, halting the game in the first quarter that was never resumed. Now here they are playing, the Bills are playing against the same team that was part of that nightmare that night, only this time Buffalo, not Cincinnati, where Hamlin fought for his life and won. How does Bills head coach Sean McDermott deal with the emotional fallout that night when it comes to preparing for this rematch?
Damar's in the building now, almost starting daily, and so that's good news. And as he continues to improve, I think those are, that certainly helps. So that's going to be, that experience we'll carry that with us. And there's a challenge to that, but there's also a lot of good that came from that. And I think right now we need to focus on the positive and the positives that came out of that.
Yeah, imagine now seeing him walking around the facility after he's in critical condition for over a week in that Cincinnati hospital. That's nothing short, again, of a miracle.
Well, Buffalo crowds are rowdy anyway.
Yes.
If he's on the sideline for that game.
Yes, that's crazy.
It'll be crazy. Mm-hmm. Thank you, Greg.
We'll be right back after this. So you've probably seen more art pop up in and around San Antonio since the pandemic. It's really no coincidence. Centro's San Antonio began placing colorful creations around the city in 2020, and almost 3 years later, the Art Everywhere program is giving old spaces new life. Organizers say the project also helps to brighten the economy. You can read all about it right now on KSAT.com, just making our city prettier.
I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I love having all the color.
Yeah,
right? That's the beauty of it.
For sure.
Now, earlier today, we made it to 79 the high. Notice how well above average that is. But temperatures will be on the downswing, but nothing frigid and no freeze.
All right. Have a beautiful night. We'll see you tomorrow.
Good night.